Automation sounds a bit nerdy, sounds complicated, but I found a product that's going to allow you to control all of your remote control things within your van or even your house on an app via Alexa, and you can even automate them. The product I found is called the Broadlink Universal Remote. Sounds extremely unsexy. The key difference between this and the SwitchBot, which by the way I've already tried, I've got one here and it failed for the use that I wanted it for, is that this can control IR and RF frequencies. Why is that important? Well, if you've got a diesel heater in your van or something else I'm going to show you later that'll help you control anything with a switch, you need RF frequencies and not just IR. What have we got in the box? It's got the unit itself, nice and small. Got a mini USB cable, a mount, and some instructions, but you're not going to need those today because I'm going to install it, show you how I did it. You join me ever so slightly in the future. Sorry to bounce this about, but basically the sound failed the first time that I showed the demo, so I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. All you do is you plug it in, put it into a USB. It's got to be 1 amp or above. Download the app, install the app. There's a bunch of stuff that you have to do in there, which I'm not going to show on screen because it shows my personal data, but it's dead straightforward. Link it to your Wi-Fi because it has to use Wi-Fi, and away you go. And when you get to that point, you add a new device. So the first device that I'm actually adding is my MaxxAir Fan. You will know if you have a MaxxAir Fan or a Fantastic Fan or any basically extractor fan that you get a remote with it, and you basically pair that remote to the buttons that are on the app itself. So it self-learns all of those things. I've programmed the on-off button, the speed button, and I've also added a button on there for the automatic mode because I use that quite a lot, and I've got it set to like 22 degrees to come on if it gets above that in here. That's with an IR frequency. If you want to add one with an RFF frequency, the process is almost exactly the same. It's just when you come in there, you do select that. It gives you like a little guide in there to show you how to identify it, but if you check out your remote controls, it's almost always written on the back, and if not, have a look at the control panel, 433 megahertz on the back, and you can program that in there. That's the key difference with this one. So once I'd got that all set up and working, I was really happy with how that's gone. I can switch stuff off and on with the app at will.
Magic.
And
Magic.
but that wasn't quite cool enough. So it's all well and good if you've got a remote control because it can learn it. What if you don't and you have other things that are switched around your van? Things like outdoor lights, things like indoor lights, things like speakers, things like other fans, whatever. If it doesn't have a remote, I wanted to think about how I could do that. So I found this thing, which is essentially a remote control set of relays. Essentially all this is you run a power source to this, a fused power source to this, and then you've got 4 relays then to do with what you like. But at the moment I've only got one idea, but I think it's a good one, and I'm hoping it's going to make it more secure. So I'm going to hook this up to the vehicle's 24 volt supply, because this runs from quite low voltage up to 32 volts, so it'll work for 12 volt stuff as well. And then I'm going to wire it out to some things that I've got switched on my dashboard, and then the result is this. Now that's quite cool, but what I thought would be even cooler is if I could do that outside of the vehicle for the MaxxAir Fan and things like that whilst we're actually driving along in the vehicle. So we could use the switch, but I thought wouldn't it be better if we could do it by voice or even by automation. So I've hopped onto Amazon and I've bought one of their brand new Alexa Autos to install to see if I could set some of that up. So once the Alexa arrived, set it all up, nice and neat in here. It's really tiny actually, and I added it to the Broadlink app.
Alexa, Alexa, please turn off the MaxxAir Fan.
Okay.
Alexa, please turn on the MaxxAir Fan.
Way!
Alexa, turn off MaxxAir Fan.
Hey! And we can do that with the floodlights, we can do that with the MaxxAir Fan, the diesel heater, even these fairy lights because they're on the remote, anything. So let us know down in the comments what you would use it for.
But don't leave us yet, you can watch more of our videos here.